Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you're watching Shelf Love with D. Welcome back to another weekly wrap-up video, which is a new series that I am beginning where I just talk about the movies and books that I watched the week before, and just kind of let you in on what I've been doing. Some weeks we are going to read 2 books, 5 books. Some weeks I'm going to read 1 and watch 5 shows. That's just how it goes. Sometimes that's just real life. And I have noticed that I enjoy doing my wrap-ups this way versus waiting to the end of the month, talking about all the books that I read and trying to remember how I felt. I'm wanting to give a review when it's fresh on my mind shortly after I just read it. Like I literally just finished reading The Twin about 15 to 20 minutes ago, and so I am still on like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that book. I can't believe it ended that way. I can't believe. I don't want to give anything away, but let's get right into this wrap up, starting with the first book that I read this past week. All right, here we go. I do think I watched a show or 2 more than the week before, so that's just the kind of week that it was. All right, so getting right into it. First book up is It's You for Me This Christmas by Miss Amanda Lynette. This book actually just released on December 5th. If you have not read it, please run and read it. I rated this book 5 stars. It's a novella and it was about 90 or 91 pages long. Very enjoyable, a nice, cute read. Very cute, fun, mature love read, and I was here for all of it. It says that after years of being in and out of a situationship, Rhea and Onyx are ready to tie the knot, but one thing stands in their way: premarital counseling. We're here for it. What they thought would be a walk in the park instead uncovers new truth, challenges that test their bond this holiday season. Unfortunately for these two, the therapy sessions sets off a chain of events that leaves them questioning, is love really enough? It's You for Me This Christmas is a short, heartfelt, and vulnerable love story that explores a timeless truth. Any love worth having is worth fighting for. So I enjoy this read, y'all. I love the male character, how he is a man of his word. He is certain of what he wants. And for him, no problem is too big for them to solve as a couple. And he is all for communication. All about, okay, there's a problem. Let's sit down and talk about it and fix it. None of this running stuff. None of this silent treatment stuff. And the female character, she is she's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard. And the female character is a work in progress, as we all are, but she still has a tendency to run, to look at everything that pops up as a reason possibly for them to not be making the right decision as far as getting married. And it's not that she is unsure about him. She is just scared of making the wrong decision because, you know, sometimes we can't ignore red flags, and she doesn't want to be one, you know, she doesn't want to be that to be the case for them. That are we just so set on doing this that we are ignoring all the differences that we have? We follow them as they go through therapy to learn how to work through some of the issues. Well, in the therapy session, they do a test where it says likes and dislikes, and in that test or quiz, whatever you want to call it, she kind of realized they don't have as much in common as she thought. And to him, he's like, hey, that's okay, we don't have to like all the same things. But to her, it's kind of a sign. So she begins to try to run, which I have not read the book before, but in this book it kind of hints around that this is kind of her, what she does. She's always trying to run and he's chasing after her, but he's at the point now, like, if we're going to do this, let's do it, and let's do it right. Let's get the therapy, let's learn how to communicate and work through our issues. You know, for him, he's so sure about her that nothing they have to deal with is a big thing or that is something they can't solve together or work through together. For her, it could all be signs that maybe this is not the right thing to do. So it's I love the way that Amanda wrote this. She wrote us authentically black, and y'all know I have been loving that. And it's not cheesy. It's not like, oh, you know, hearing them, you know, when I say that it is done in a mature way and he's all about like communicating and, you know, no problem's too big. It's not done in a cheesy way. It is done in a very real, genuine way. Just watching a man who is sure of what he wants, not letting any of the problems become too big for them to handle together. So I definitely would recommend this book, and it was very well done. All right, moving on to the next. So next book up is 3 Months in Accra. I rated that book 4 stars. Definitely enjoyed my time reading that book. The only thing that kept it from being 5 stars for me was for the first 25% of the book, I did not believe in the couple. I did not believe in the chemistry. I did not believe in the love at first sight that they were trying to sell in this book. It was actually after they parted ways that it began to feel more genuine to me as the reader. So this book is about a woman who takes a trip to Accra for her studies. There she meets a guy who he is everything. He's fine, he's smart. You know, she sees him at a party, and there's just an insta love or an insta connection. For her 3 months while she's there in Accra, they are dating. He's showing her around and they are falling hard for each other. Well, toward the end of that trip, she overhears a conversation from his parents, just reminding him of who they have him already signed up to marry, basically, and that, you know, she is fun for this summer fling or whatever, but she is not who he is supposed to be with, and they already have a plan for his life. Once she hears this conversation, she does not want to be the person who, you know, causes a rift between him and his parents, so she just makes the decision to leave. Well, however long later, they end up reconnecting, running into each other again, and that's where we see were those 3 months really something, and the bond that they thought that they built, the love that they thought they built, if it is strong enough to begin something anew, or if it is one of those things where it's like, hey, it was fun, nice seeing you again, and, you know, moving on with our lives. But I did enjoy the book. As I said, the only thing that stopped it from being 5 stars was that I did not believe in the insta love. It wasn't written in a way for me that I really believed that these two were into each other, or that there was anything that happened or that had sparked that made me feel like, oh, I can see why they just were so drawn to each other outside of everybody else. But after I will say probably toward the end of her 3 months there, once they separated, the writing for me just became more believable. But I would still recommend this book to anyone who is interested in it. A very good read, and I look forward to reading more by this author. Next book up was Next book up is The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon. This was a fantasy read for me. Y'all know I'm trying to tiptoe into my fantasy bag. And after I read Children of Blood and Bone, it just really sparked something in me. This is not a black fantasy. However, I still enjoyed this book. I rated it 5 stars. Definitely enjoyed it. It was very different for me. This book is about a girl who has the power of words. She can draw something on a piece of paper, make something out of fabric, tell it to fly, tell it to dance, and it will do that. Well, in the beginning of the book, she's doing this with her mom while they're at home, thinking they're, you know, just free to be them, and the king approaches and they don't have time to withdraw the power from all of these things. She's able to withdraw the power from all the things except for one, which is kind of hovering over in the sky. Well, once the king sees this, he, you know, flips out. The mom tries to protect the daughter and she ends up dying. While she's dying, she curses her daughter to never use her words again. So she goes throughout this book not being able to speak. However, there are a couple of people who she connects with, I'm assuming on a magical level, where they can hear her inside her mind, and that is how she's able to communicate with them. Her dad resents her because not only did he lose his wife, but when her mother cursed her, she also tied them, saying that make sure you protect her and look out for her, because whatever happens to her shall happen to you. So he kind of has this resentment, and he just locks her away so that nothing ever happens to her. So we just watch as the story unfolds. She grows up. Like I said, she's unable to talk, and she's trying to hide her powers. And then the young prince grows up, and we find out that he also has powers as well that he has hidden away. Anyway, so the story just unfolds from there. It is really good. I'm trying to give you enough to intrigue you, but not too much that it spoils the read for you, because this book was really good. I really enjoyed it. It had mixed reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of the people, I'm assuming, are big fantasy readers, because they were like, I would not categorize this book as fantasy, blah, blah, blah. And I like to think it's what Miss Eliza Reeds told me, is that it was low fantasy. It's not a whole, you know, bunch of different worlds within this book. It's people who have powers. So I still enjoyed it. Maybe it just depends on the level of fantasy that you like to read, but it was a 5-star read for me, and I would highly recommend you pick it up. All right, moving on to the next book up is called The Twin by Natasha Preston, I believe. This book was recommended by Miss Eliza is Reading, and it is so good, y'all. 5-star read without hesitation. The twist in this book, though, the way that it ended, will have you like, ain't no way, ain't no way. It was so good. So obviously, with the book being called The Twin, it is about twin sisters. Something happens to the mom where the sister ends up having to come live with the other twin and the dad. And there is just a bit of kind of resentment from where she felt like the sister who lived with the dad, which her name is Ivy, and the sister who lived with the mom is named Iris. So Iris started kind of having some resentment, like Ivy had everything. And she begins to kind of try to be her. And that's all I'm going to say, because I went into this book blindly, and I want you guys to go into this book as blindly as possible, because it just adds to the it just adds to the suspense. It adds to the psychological thriller that it is. But at the end, I had to reach out to my girl Eliza's Reading, like, ain't no way if this is how that book ends. Now, I do wish that it ended differently, but it's not a disappointing end. It just kind of is like, boom, that's just what it is. And you're like, no, like, give me more. And I also love that it didn't end the way that I expected it to end. Once I kind of saw where the book was going, I thought I had predicted how it was going to end, and I was wrong. And I love that. I love that. And I definitely want to read more by her. So Miss Eliza, if you have some more recommendations of books by Natasha Preston, please let me know, because I loved her writing style. Love The Twin. Highly recommend. Run and pick it up. All right, so moving on, next are shows or movies that I watched this past week. I am rewatching trying to get the sun glare out of my face. So right now I am rewatching The Walking Dead. I've watched this before. I think I stopped at season 8. It had started to get kind of crazy to me with the tiger, the king, and the Negan thing was all drug out. It just was not what The Walking Dead to me originally was. But I'm starting back over from season 1 with my husband, and we are laughing and having a good time. I'm sure everyone knows about The Walking Dead, but if you don't, it's about life after a zombie apocalypse, and everyone is just fighting and struggling to survive, scavenging for food. Of course, they're going to be attacking each other, working together, all those things. It is a good time. It is an enjoyable watch. I think I would rate the season overall 4 stars, 4.5, only because, like I said, those last like season or 2 of the original Walking Dead just weren't doing it for me. But this time with my rewatch, I'm going to try to just watch all the way through and see if I can finish it all the way through to the end. And then there are a couple of other spinoffs. I think Daryl has his I call him Dirty Daryl, so I almost said that again, but Daryl has a spinoff, and Fear the Walking Dead, all these other things. So this I'm going to try to watch it all the way through and see if I have the same opinion as I did before about the last 1 to 2 seasons at the end. All right, next thing up that I watched is called Dashing Through the Snow, and this is a Christmas movie with Ludacris in it. We watched this on Disney. It was our family movie night watch, and I love this movie. I want to say it is our 2nd or 3rd time watching it. Of course, we only watch it around the holidays, but it is a cute movie. It has a black Santa, and I'm all for it. Although it is a Christmas movie and it has a little bit of corniness, I enjoyed it, and it is probably one of the best Christmas movies that I watched in a while. One of the best newer Christmas movies that I've watched in a while. We watched all of the classic movies like Home Alone, Jingle All the Way, and The Grinch, of course. But the new movies that they try to make, I've not been feeling them. Definitely did not like Home Alone 3. So when I say that this is one of the best Christmas movies, I mean like one of the newer ones. And I really enjoyed it. So it is about Ludacris is the main male character. Don't remember his name in the movie, but he doesn't believe in Santa due to something that happened to him as a kid. And now he has his family of his own, which his daughter believes in Santa Claus. They have an encounter where they meet Santa Claus, and it appears at that time that he is breaking and entering, and it just goes from there as they help Santa actually, once they find out what is actually going on with Santa, and they end up helping him. And then remember, you know, what Christmas is all about, the spirit of Christmas, and work through, you know, some things that is causing issues in his marriage, but also in, you know, in him not having the Christmas spirit. So it is a cute watch. I definitely recommend it for you and your family. If you have not watched that, I would rate it, you know, as a Christmas movie, 5 stars. For a Christmas movie, I would give this 5 stars. Definitely enjoyed it, and we'll continue to watch it every year. We'll probably watch it again before Christmas. So, all right, last one on the list is called The Beast in Me. This was a Netflix watch, and I had been seeing it for a while on there, and finally decided to watch it, and it was crazy. It's a psychological thriller series. It's a series. It is a psychological thriller, and it is crazy. And I'm going to read to you guys what it was about, because it's kind of hard to explain without giving too much away. It says, Arthur Aggie Wiggs has receded from public life since the death of her young son. Unable to write, a ghost of her former self, but she finds an unlikely subject for a new book when the house next door is bought by Niall Jarvis. And I will say, without giving too much away, that Niall Jarvis is I won't say he's wanted. He's under suspicion for murdering his wife. They don't have proof. You know, it's been ruled an accident, I believe. No, it's been ruled a suicide. But they are suspicious that he's done it. So a very good psychological thriller series to watch. Keeps you on your toes. Very twisty turny. It is one of those TV shows that you feel like you know the direction that it's going in, but then it, you know, kind of pivots to something else. I do think there were a couple actors in there that just was not on their job, but should not have been casted for the role. Their acting just wasn't up to par. But outside of that, it was a very good watch. I would say it's a good one-time read. I would rate it about 3.5 to 4 stars. Everything doesn't have to be 5 stars to read or watch it. I would still recommend it to anyone who has not seen it. It is, you know, something to pass the time, but keep your interest, and not too crazy, twisty turny where you can't keep up or follow what's going on. All right, so that is it for my weekly wrap up. Thank you all so much for returning and joining me. If you have any TV shows, movies, or book recommendations, please always feel free to leave them down in the comments for me, because I am always looking for new books and new movies and TV recommendations. I did see the Freida McFadden book is coming out, The Housemaid. I'm curious, are y'all gonna watch it? Have y'all read that book? I definitely want to watch it, but please let me know, for those who have watched it, if you think that I should read the book first, or would it be okay just jumping right into the movie? I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right, that's it. I hope that you all have a nice rest of the day, rest of the week, a great holiday whenever you may be sitting down to watch this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, show some love, and per usual, don't forget to show your chef some love today.